Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Art Is You podcast. I'm your host, Carly Scott, and in today's episode, I'm going to read you guys some embarrassing stories from photographers of embarrassing things they've done or said at a photo shoot or wedding. Because if you're a photographer, you probably have at least a few moments where you can look back on and kind of cringe, and also in the moment they were just so embarrassing. But hopefully in this episode we can just laugh together about our shared embarrassing moments. And I definitely related to a few of the stories that you guys wrote in. And I told you I would share my embarrassing thing I said first, so I will do that before I read the stories you guys shared. But essentially, okay, the reason this is so embarrassing too is I didn't catch even that it was embarrassing until after that. I didn't realize what I had said and done was a total blonde airhead moment that I didn't even catch till after, and then I was just kicking myself oh my gosh, I am so stupid. But essentially, I was shooting a wedding and I had on one of my camera harnesses, and I have a few different ones, but essentially, the harnesses that allow you to have two cameras, and then I also have a single harness that goes across my body too. Anyways, so I was shooting this wedding, I had one of my harnesses on, and someone was just making small talk with me, asking me questions about my gear and stuff, and was pointing out my camera harness and was oh, that's really cool, I've never seen a camera strap like that before. And I was oh yeah, it's really great and all that stuff. And then he was I've only ever seen the ones that just go around your neck. And I was oh, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean the ones that go around your neck? And mind you, in hindsight, I am oh my gosh, duh, just the classic camera strap that goes around your neck, that everybody knows and is the most common type of camera strap ever. But in my mind, I was just thinking about harnesses for some reason. And I was trying to imagine a camera harness that went around your neck, and my mind was just way overcomplicating it, and I don't even know. But he looked so confused when I was I've never heard of that kind of camera strap before. And he was just who is this person and why does she not know what a normal camera strap looks like? So that's mine. Unfortunately, I have a lot of moments like that, and so it leads to some embarrassing situations. It humbles me though, keeps me humble. But now I'm going to dive into your stories, which I might also share a few personal anecdotes because they remind me of different situations I've had. Okay, the first one says, I was second shooting a wedding, had just found out the couple's names the day before. I'm bad with names to begin with. And referred to the bride as what's her name to the father of the groom. Immediate regret. Yeah, names are so hard. As a photographer, I relate to this one so much. I feel I do my best, and I'm pretty okay at it because I used to be a teacher and I had to really try to memorize names as quickly as possible. So I try to be better at forcing myself to do that ahead of time, but sometimes there's just so many names, and occasionally the groom's name is really hard to remember. Usually if you're, I don't know why, but sometimes I just I don't remember. Okay, here's the next one. Accidentally said, now you and your mom, when it was their sister. Definitely a kill me now moment. Yeah, that's a little rough. It's rough when it's you thinking they're older, if you thought the mom was a sister, at least that's kind of like a compliment, I guess, but thinking that the sister was the mom is definitely an embarrassing moment, and I would not put that past myself. Honestly, this reminds me of a situation at a wedding where I almost had a slip like this, because the groom had a son that was in his, you know, one of the groomsmen, and he was like the same height as his dad. And so I didn't realize, like, when I was there and saw all the guys together, that one of them was his son. But anyway, one of the groomsmen said dad to the groom, and in my head I was like, wait, is he actually his dad, or is this like a joke? Like, I didn't know totally, and I'm so glad I didn't clarify, because like I quickly found out that, like, yes, that's his son. And so I'm glad I found out before I made any comments about it. But sometimes it's hard to know. There's so many people, so many different like dynamics happening at a wedding, that it can be hard to like keep it all straight, especially, you know, it's your first time meeting all these people. Okay. The next one is, I called the man the wrong name the entire shoot. And the couple didn't tell me until after. That's rough that they didn't point it out immediately for you. I've definitely said the wrong name before, but thankfully they told me, and I was able to just correct it and be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But it's hard. Like, unfortunately, those moments are just so embarrassing, and you, like, they probably understand, but yeah, it's really hard after the fact. You're just like, dang, why did that have to happen? Okay. Somebody said, I literally just fell down a sand dune and belly flopped with my kit onto the beach 1 hour ago. Belly flopping down a sand dune is pretty rough with all of your gear. Falling is so embarrassing for just like no reason at all, but also it's funny. So I guess, I don't know, falling is so embarrassing, and I've fallen probably like at least 3 or 4 times that I can think of at like an elopement or photo shoot before. But yeah, when you're like, you know, on a cliffside or things are muddy, like, it can be hard not to slip. I've slipped on like a log. I've slipped on a muddy hill on the Oregon coast, and slipped on some rocks too. So it's not fun falling at a photo shoot, that's for sure. And I'm kind of clumsy too, so it doesn't help. Okay, the next one says, a bride was trying to write a beautiful sentiment in a book for her future mother-in-law and couldn't spell the word. I am really good at spelling and helped her. Then I realized I spelled it wrong. I was mortified. I am not good at spelling, so I probably wouldn't have volunteered to help unless like I looked it up on my phone or something, because I'm terrible at spelling. But that is funny that she was like trying to write it all nice, and you're like, I can help. Okay. I have another one. This one's kind of funny. I crouched to take a picture, and as I crouched, a surprise fart fired out loudly. As an upside, the laughter and smiles were fantastic, and the shocked moment of faces were hilarious too. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing, and it like kind of unlocked a new fear, and like, yeah, that's a new fear of mine because you're always crouching down and like you move around so much while you're taking photos that would be so mortifying, especially at like the wrong moment during like a wedding ceremony or something. I don't know. I don't want to put that out into the universe, but that would be pretty bad. I have a funny fart story kind of, but it was the groom. And it was when we were taking some sunset pictures. I had him like lift up the bride, and as he was like lifting her, he let out like this super loud fart, and we were all just cracking up. Thankfully, like, it was only the 3 of us, and yeah, they were both laughing super hard, and I was laughing really hard too. And the pictures were actually pretty cute, but we know the real reason behind those laughs and smiles. But yeah, I think I'm going to end on the farting one for today because it's starting to get a little dark. And I'm just kind of trying this out, like the reading some stories. I personally love listening to podcasts where they read off like embarrassing stories or just personal stories that people write in. If you like this format of episode, let me know. I kind of enjoy it, but yeah, I'm curious your thoughts. If you related to any of these, if you have any more embarrassing stories, I could do more further in the future. I could like compile more stories and eventually do another episode like this. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing week. And yeah, I love you. Bye.